Hi girls, hi, you are here with Kylie Pack, Stitch the Diet Extraordinaire, and I would like to talk to you this week about the 3 main steps that I took to break up with emotional eating, and I ended up losing over 20 kilos and I lost it for good. Right? I did not put it back 45 times over like so many of us have experienced every time we've done some kind of yo-yo dieting, you know, the fad diets, the yo-yo diets, right? Like eat the carbs, don't eat the carbs, eat the fat, don't eat the fat. Like we've heard it all too many times. That just about drives you crazy, right? I want to talk to you a little bit about my 3 hot tips. And the reason I want to do that is because whether or not you sort of ever join me for one of the boot camps, my like Ditch the Diet online boot camp is currently, we're about to start our next round. And you know, whether or not you ever really end up joining us for the boot camp, I want to make sure that I give you some actionable steps that you can use and implement straight away to integrate into your life, move forward and see some phenomenal and measurable results, like really good ones, right? Really good ones. So that's what we're going to be doing today. And the reason I want to sort of I talk to you a little bit about the boot camp because the girls in there, not only have they experienced like ridiculously amazing weight loss, it's not all about that. It has completely transformed their relationship with food, which means the change is now permanent. Like there's no going back and forwards 1,000 times. I lost it, I gained it, I lost it, I gained it. Like it's done. We're finally done. And that's what I want to talk about. You know, some of the girls have lost like, you know, one of the girls just lost like 18 pounds. Other girls have lost, just even if they didn't have that much to lose, some girls have lost like 3-4 kilos. Other girls have lost 7, 8, all the way up to 20 kilos. Like we're experiencing some really great shifts in the boot camp, which I just love. But today I want to give you sort of my 3 biggest tips. And the first one that I want to start with is really about, it was my hardest one, to be honest. It was so difficult for me to give up the perfectionism. The perfectionism, girls, because what we think is like when we get on our fancy, you know, sparkling new fad diets, like every Monday morning I would wake up and, you know, I wasn't airy-fairy about it. I was determined. Like I was like, this is it. You know, there was no junk food in the house because of course I had eaten it all the night before because I was like, well, I've got to start my new diet in the morning. There can't be junk food here. So I would like binge, eat it all, right? But at least in my head, I'm like, well, at least it won't be there in the morning. So of course I would wake up feeling sick from all the garbage that I ate the night before, but you know, whatever, you move on. And I was doing my fancy program, whatever it was for that day. And then, you know, by Monday afternoon, somebody would bring like donuts, like Krispy Kremes or something into the office. And I was like, oh, are you serious? Like, do I need to send out a team memo to notify you people I am on my fancy diet? What are you doing to me? Like, don't you know this is going to ruin everything? And of course, like for me, donuts were like my kryptonite, right? Kryptonite. I just couldn't say no to a donut. And I honestly felt like I was Homer Simpson or something in another life because I just felt like donuts were my thing. Like it was so hard for me to say no. So of course, you know, these donuts would be sitting there and within all of 3.4 seconds, I was scarfing them down. And then in my head, I would try and like justify it to make it so that maybe it's not that bad. You know, maybe I haven't sort of broken my diet yet kind of thing, like ruined it, right? So I'd be going, okay, one donut, that's okay. Don't freak out. You're okay. But that was so good, right? So good. Like the voice in your head just goes, man, that was good. Get another one. And you're like, oh, okay. Okay. So you need another one. And then I would be like, all right, two's, it's all right. You haven't really ruined it yet. But the fear was already starting to kick in, right? It would already be starting to kick in. And I'll be like, two's not good. And then you think, oh, maybe just one more. It will be all right. But no. By the time I'd eaten that 3rd one, in my head, I was like, screwed it up now. You've messed it up, like it's ruined. You've ruined the diet, so you might as well eat everything in the universe and binge until tomorrow when you can start again and get it right. It was just crazy, but this is how so many of us live our lives, right? From Monday, we start the fancy diet. By Monday afternoon, or maybe if you're some kind of dieting rock star and you see it all the way to Wednesday or maybe Thursday, right? You're like, oh my gosh, you know, something happens and it tips you over the edge, and there you go. Like, you're just eating garbage, and of course you think, well, I've ruined it, so I'll eat as much as I can until next Monday, and I'll start again, right? All it leads to is, of course, the massive weight gain, right? Because we don't just stop and then start again fresh the next day. No, we stop and binge, and then stop and binge, and stop and binge, right? Until, you know, next Monday we would start maybe a brand new fad diet, and we start again because we're trying so hard to get it perfect. What I want to say, girls, is like, one Krispy Kreme isn't bad. Like, what if you have one biscuit or something? That's not bad. You haven't ruined anything. If you eat 4 packets of biscuits, it's still not bad. You haven't ruined anything. There's no right or wrong. There's nothing to ruin. There's just your journey, right? Every day that you step up and make an effort is a day closer than you were before. So ditch the perfectionism. The second point that made such a massive impact on my journey out of the, you know, emotional eating nightmare and into the land of sanity around food was really overcoming the FOMO, right? I ate so much of the silly things that I later regretted. I ate them because of FOMO. And if you're thinking, like, what is that woman talking about? What is FOMO? FOMO stands for fear of missing out. Fear of missing out. If I went somewhere and I saw a plate of chocolate biscuits or chocolate cake or any kind of chocolate, anything for me, right, I would be like, oh my gosh, like instant fear would trigger, like, can I resist myself? Can I resist, right? And then you'd think, I cannot resist because of FOMO. My thought pattern was, if I don't eat it now, I'm going to miss out. If I don't get as much as I can now, I'm going to miss out, right? And so not just 1 or 2 slices would be consumed of cake or whatever it might be, like as much as I could stuff in without making a total and complete fool of myself is how much I would consume. And then of course I would go leave that function, whatever it was, and think, well, I messed it up now, ruined it now, might as well binge and try and start again tomorrow. So the FOMO is a massive, massive reason that so many of us eat things that we later regret. You know, you think this is my only opportunity, which is crazy, right? Because you can always go get these things later. If you really, really want to, you can. But we think this is my only opportunity, you know, and especially with the whole stopping and starting of the diet thing. If I don't eat it now, because on next Monday, I'm never going to eat chocolate again, right? So we eat as much as we can. The goal is to consume mass amounts because we think if I don't eat it now, I'll never get it again. Girls, it's not true. Don't give in to that. Don't give into it. Don't eat because of FOMO. Eat things that make you happy in amounts and quantities that you enjoy and make you feel good in your body. The third point that I really want to give you today, like my biggest tip, right? And it took me such a long time to learn, is that diets don't work. They don't work, girls. If fad diets worked, any kind of crazy, restrictive, fancy pants diets, right? If they worked, even sometimes your general meal plans can just trigger you to tip you over the edge. But if these fad diets worked, that they tell us, like, you know, like we say, eat the carbs, no, don't eat the carbs, like eat the fat, don't eat the fat. If they worked with the amount that we've all done in our lives, right, we would have been skinny 45 years ago, right? But we're not. We're still struggling and battling. Why? Because they don't work. They don't work. All they do is teach you how to stop thinking for yourself and to allow some random stranger to tell you what you should be eating, how much of it you should be eating. You know, you can have 3 string beans, but like not 4. You know, you can have 25 grams of steamed brown rice, but not 30 grams. No. You're very bad. If you have 30 grams, like, it's just crazy, right? It drives you crazy. So we want to really get, you know, the point I want you to really get today is that they don't work. They don't work. And this is what we talk about in the boot camp, in Ditch the Diet online boot camp, which is we're starting our next round now. Girls, we're starting our next round. And I want to talk to you about it because it's so exciting. It's so exciting. We've had so many incredible results. And like I say, women from all over the globe, because it's a completely online, delivered online. I'm there the whole time facilitating, and anybody can access it. So there's like, you can, it doesn't matter where you live. If you've got internet access, you're in, right? It's phenomenal. But what I want to tell you is what is involved in it, is why we do the things we do, okay? And then actionable steps to change the behaviors that we don't want to be engaging in anymore. So what I teach in the bootcamp is a 5-point eating code, which is the exact steps that I took to just wave a sweet bye-bye to that emotional eating and create a life and a body that I finally felt comfortable in. Do you know what I mean? No more fear of food, no more eating because of FOMO, no more all-night binge sessions. It's gone. It's gone, right? And this is the exact things that we teach in the bootcamp. It's exactly what we go through. So it's a 6-week course. It runs for 6 weeks, and over that 6 weeks we go through the 5-step eating code. We bring it all together in the end and come up with your personal success plan so that you can integrate it and move forward. But the most exciting part is all the bits and pieces that I just love. There's now over 100 recipes in the recipe library. They're all whole foods, and they cater to every culinary request, right? So we've got vegan, we've got vegetarian, we've got paleo, we've got high carb, low carb, high sugar, no sugar, no, let me just clarify, no refined sugars, no nasties, no. Whatever works for you, you will find it in there, and they're so easily adaptable to whatever your taste is, The other thing I just love, got an entire Q&A lab, and you're thinking, what is that? I know, because it sounds good, right? And it is. It really is. I love it. It's brand new. And what it is that if you've got any kind of question, how do I handle this? Or I feel like I want to binge, but I don't know what to do. Or I was doing so well, but now I feel really horrible and I just am so out of it. What do I do? The answer to every question you could ever want to know is in the Q&A lab. You just tap away and the answer is there. They're all recordings, so easy to access. You have got now podcasts, downloadable podcasts. You've got weekly modules delivered, like MP3, MP4. It's all happening, right? You have your worksheets so that you can really get to the root cause of what is going on for you, because it's individual for all of us, which is again why those diets don't work, because they're giving you a random list that worked for some complete stranger, right? How on earth can it work for you? We are creating an entire system of workable fabulousness, bits and pieces that work for you, right? That will be specific and unique to you and for you. The best part that I just love about the bootcamp is our weekly masterclasses, baby. You have got me live one-on-one every week. So I'm there all the time throughout the bootcamp, but each week we do a fresh masterclass, right? So you get to submit your questions, your own personal questions. You can jump on the line live. You'll see me just like you're seeing me now, and we can chat, and I will answer your questions personally. You're well, I don't know, my dog threw up on the carpet and then it ate my slippers and it really freaked me out and I wanted to eat the whole chocolate cake. What should I have done instead? What would have been a better option? Or how do I handle this really stressful situation that I'm in? It's all right for you to say this, but this is my circumstances, and I'm there. We go through the whole thing. So it's one-on-one, baby. And then, right, the never-ending joyride, it never ends, right? We, of course, have our private Facebook group. So I'm in the group every day. And that is really where the magic happens, because you now are connected with a sisterhood of like-minded women who get you. We get each other, because other people who don't really get this whole emotional eating, yo-yo dieting, love affair with food thing, they don't get us, right? They don't get us, but we get each other. And that's the most invaluable part of the program, the most valuable part, right? It's the most incredible part of all, and that's what I love. So there is so much here that we could go through, but what I will just do instead is post the link below. So if you are interested, if any part of this you're listening to and you're going, oh my gosh, she's describing my life story, right? Hit the link, find out more about it, because my mission is to make sure that this sort of craziness that we have now around food, because of the way the diet industry is structured and the things that we're constantly told, you know, we should do this, you should do that, it drives you absolutely insane. I want to make sure that we end it now. That's enough of that insanity. It's time to come back and make our choices from a heart-centered place, not a crazy up in the head place where they have taught us to live. So girls, I just want to thank you so much for spending time with me today, and I really hope that you found these tips useful. If you have, please post below. Like, let me know what you thought about it and the one that you like best and what you're going to do, how you're going to action it into your life. Okay, thank you again so much. You have been with Kylie Pax. I look forward to seeing you again next week, and have a great day. Bye for now.